Must and have to. Okay, let's talk about these two. They feel so similar, right? And in a ton of languages, they translate to the exact same word. So what is the real difference? If you have ever been confused by this, trust me, you're in the right place. We are going to clear this up for good.
So yeah, this is the big question. Both of these words are about needing to do something, so which one do you pick? It might feel like you just have to guess, but nope. There's some really clear rules, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one to use every single time.
All right, the first and most important idea to get your head around is this. Where is the need, the obligation, coming from? Is it a personal feeling, something from inside you? Or is it some kind of rule or situation from the outside world? This one little distinction is the key to everything. Let's break it down.
Here we go. This makes the main rule super simple. Think of must as coming from the inside. It's your personal feeling, your own opinion, or a strong decision you've made for yourself. Have to, on the other hand, is all about the outside stuff. You know, a law, a rule at work, a doctor's order, anything external that you don't really control.
So for example, let's say you look in the mirror and you think to yourself, okay, it's time to get a bit healthier. In that moment, you'd say, I must lose some weight. See? That feeling, that decision, it's all coming from you. It's your own personal mission.
But what if you go to the doctor and they look at your test results and say, for your health, you need to lose weight? Now the situation's totally different. It's an external command. So you tell your friend, the doctor said I have to lose some weight. The obligation is coming from an outside authority, the doctor. Make sense?
Now here's another cool thing about must. It's not always so serious. We also use it when we get really excited about something and want to give a strong, enthusiastic recommendation. It's our way of sharing a great experience.
Just imagine you're eating the most amazing piece of cake ever. You wouldn't turn to your friend and say, you have to try this cake. That sounds kind of like an order. No way. You'd say, oh my gosh, you must try this cake. It's that personal, passionate feeling coming through again.
All right, so you've got the basics. But now we're getting to the most critical part. This is the one place where these two words aren't just different, they become total polar opposites. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this.
You know, in positive sentences like we've seen, saying I must go and I have to go, they're pretty close. A lot of the time you could use either one and people would totally get what you mean. And that's exactly why it gets so confusing.
But the second you make them negative, everything flips. They are not similar. They are not interchangeable. In fact, they mean completely, wildly different things. This is the big twist.
So here it is, the crucial point. Mustn't means something is forbidden. It is a strict, hard no. Think of a giant red stop sign. It means do not do it. But don't have to? That just means there's no obligation. It isn't necessary. You have a choice. It's totally optional.
Okay, let's look at an example. You mustn't smoke here. This means smoking is prohibited. End of story. It's against the rules. It is not a suggestion. It is a command. Don't do it or there's going to be a problem.
Now compare that with this. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I don't have to work. Does that mean working is forbidden? Of course not. It just means it's not necessary. I can work if I want to, but there's no rule from my boss telling me I have to. I'm free to choose.
Fantastic! Now that we've absolutely nailed the most important difference, let's just quickly cover a few other little grammar rules that'll make you a true master of must and have to.
So here's a simple trick. Must doesn't really have a past or future tense form. It's kind of a one-trick pony. So whenever we need to talk about the past or future, we always borrow from have to. For the past, you'll say I had to. For the future, I will have to. Simple as that. And what about questions? Well, it's way more common and natural to use do or does with have to. Like, do you have to leave so soon? You can technically say, must I go? But it sounds really formal, almost like something from an old movie. So in everyday chat, just stick with do you have to? And just a super quick final grammar nudge. For he, she, or it, don't forget it changes to has to, not have to. For instance, she has to finish her project by Friday.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. Let's wrap it all up with a final summary of the key things you really need to lock in.
This little table lays it all out perfectly. Let's recap. Source of obligation. Must is internal, have to is external. Negative meaning, this is the big one. Mustn't means prohibition, don't have to means no obligation. And for tenses, we always use a form of have to for the past and the future.
And there it is, one last time because it's that important. If you walk away with just one thing, let it be this. Mustn't means don't you dare do it. And don't have to means, you don't need to if you don't want to. Master that and you've basically mastered the whole thing.
So, I'll leave you with this final little question to really make it stick. What is the one thing you mustn't forget from this explainer? That's right, that massive difference between the negative forms. Thanks so much for joining me.